van build. So this main section, you have to build this first. And so this is basically 58 inches long by 48 inches wide. Oh, so you get the gist of it there. But anyway, it's on a 5/8 inch plywood, and there is a 2x4 that runs the full length of it from front to back that is offset by exactly one 2x4 on both ends here. And so the first thing you need to do when you're putting the legs on it is figure out how high you want them. And so you need to start with the front legs in the front, and you have to level it out from there. And I usually did the front, and then I leveled it out to the back, and then I did the middle legs. And so we can walk over to the front here. And my van still sits on the original carpeting, so there isn't a floor. And so my leg in the front is exactly 6.5 inches tall. And then I just used a level. I set it up on a level surface, and then I leveled it out to the back, put it in, and this thing came in and out many times. And so when I leveled it out, I just measured the distance from the floor to like the height of my leg. I could get a tape measure down there to get a better, more accurate measurement for you on that one. But that's basically how I got that. It'll probably be different of where your leg hits on the bottom, whether you have carpeting on the bottom or whether you have like if there's like bumps and all kinds of stuff down there. So it could be different in length. And then to get the middle legs, the middle leg is set exactly like 11 inches back from the front. And to get the height of the middle leg, I just used a level, because obviously nothing is level in a minivan. Got it level, and then subtracted the distance, because I think this one is slightly less. That one is about like 6 and 1/8 inches tall. So once we got all this all together, I mean, you also, like the middle one, at first I did not have this middle one in here, and I had to put that in later because it did flex quite a bit. And so the middle one helps, it makes it a lot more sturdy, but it is kind of a pain because the front is different than the back, and then you have to account for the little bar brackets that on the bottom too. And so I didn't, and so now you can see it's about 1/8 of an inch higher in the front, which doesn't really make a difference, but it's visually you can see it. And so then once we got all that built and we got the top built, we put this all together, and then we put in, I used just a skill saw and a miter saw for cutting all this out. But so I used a jig. I didn't have a table saw, so I used a jig to cut this straight, just with my skill saw. And then there's just a piano brackets just for me, so I can access the back here. If I did this differently, I would have put another piano bracket here, and it would have opened this way as well, and then my cushions would have been another cushion here, and like this would have been 2 cushions, so you could get into this from the top. And that would be my only difference that it would have made if I had to go back right now. But then, so once you get this all built here, this top section, and this is all done, then this part gets a little tricky to get it all together. So I'm gonna go back to the front here. And so what I needed to do to get this straight, well, first of all, this is 48 inches wide here by 16 inches long. And to get this flat, or to get this angle. So you need to get this angle, is the important angle right here. So this needs to be measured off of either the 2x4, or you need to measure it off of here and subtract the distance of the plywood. So I think what I did is, after I put this leg in, then I just bolted a 2x4 to it. You don't have to worry about this back bracket. You can kind of set that to your whatever your preference is and your angle. But to get this, I put this, like, put a level down. It doesn't have to be on a level surface. It just needs, you need something flat. And then I just put the 2x4 down, and then just drew a line across the 2x4, and just used a jig to cut it straight, and just cut it with a skill saw. So I cut this angle straight, if that makes any sense. So if it laid flat here, you had the level going across, and then you could, I just like drew a line and cut this straight. And then I had to mount this. At first I had it mounted tight, and now you can see it's about like 1.5 inches back. And basically that was because, oh, there you go, my broken of the cushions, and it was rubbing pretty, it couldn't really open because of the cushions. And so even now with this gap, I still need to move it just a hair, but it works pretty good. And so then once you get this all set and straight, and you have it straightened out, you can do the same thing with this 2x4 and cut the angle. Basically getting this straight, and I think I probably put this down. I probably used a wood clamp and just clamped this flat and straight, and made sure it was level here. And then I just measured out like where this was going to be, and like the angle, because that is going to, you know, this is at a slight angle. So just got to get that right. And then the back one over here, that's just like a small block of wood. I think it's like, if I had to guess, it's like 4 inches tall or something like that. Oh, it's like 3 and almost 4 inches tall, but well, it doesn't matter. You can just put that back wherever you want it, and you can adjust it. I almost want that one to be a little bit more angled, but yeah, that was kind of the gist of how I built this. And then I just used Velcro, and I had to sew all the Velcro onto the back of these cushions, but yeah, it works pretty good. That way you don't have to mess around with like pulling things out, and you just put it back in couch mode, pull it forward, and you're in bed mode. It's super simple. Yep, I think that's it for those. And then